Zombie Sanji, Rimana, Jazo, Dema, Deva, Jema, Jide, Jema, Jivoro, Deve, Kalonjo, Lana, Memo, Lana, Memo, Dema, Sanji, Jonen, Pejawa, Shaja, Dova, La, Johnson, Shilo, Jono, Dema, Jonen, Deje, Jema, Dajomba, Yanaba, Zombie Sanji. Ribana Shaso Dema Deva Jema Jide Jema Jeva Deve Kalo Jeva Lana Mema Lana Mena Dema Sanje Jumde Dembe Jawa Shaja Dova La Jadela Shilo Javu Dema Jumde Deje Jeva Dajomba Yanaba Zobe Sanje Ribana Shaso Deva Jeva Jide Jema Jivro Deve Kalojo Lana Meba Lata Mena Dema Sanje Jumden Pejawa Shaja Dova La Chazelo Chelo Jano Bonde Mone Dova Jenose Saje De La Gomba De Mone Mane Jide De Na Joje So Deje Jeva Jela Chaz Nanda Gunga Chodo Susawa Ishe Jazo Seje Limot Chaba Jide Suna Lamewa Gimbo Chunye Jela Chaz Senjo Dema Time Dave Sho Sendo Jawa Jela
Ellarigu namaskara. First of all, I offer my pranams to the holy feet of His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama and His Holiness Sree Shivakumara Maha Swamiji of Siddaganga Mutt. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to deliver the welcome speech on this momentous, auspicious, intellectual, exciting occasion. Warm greetings to you all on behalf of Tumkur University on the occasion of the inauguration of International Conference on Yoga in Education, organized by S-Vyasa University and Tumkur University. We have a very important function which goes in the history of Tumkur University by conferring honorary distinguished professorship on His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama, signing of MOU with Sera-je Monastic University and S-Vyasa University. This is the first university in the country to have signed with a Tibetan university, especially Sera-je Monastic University, an MOU. We have been working since 6 months. The monks from Bailkuppe and His Holiness Sri Dalai Lama Ji, with blessings, the monks visited and delivered lectures here, and we are going to sign an MOU with Sera-je Monastic University. This is a spiritual occasion for us, as Tumkur University is conferring the honorary distinguished professorship on His Holiness. On behalf of Tumkur University and S-Vyasa University, I extend a very warm welcome to His Holiness. We are indeed happy to have the divine presence of His Holiness Dr. Sree Shivakumara Mahaswamiji of Siddaganga Mutt. We extend a hearty welcome to His Holiness.
His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Honorable Vice-Chancellor of Tumkur University, respected Registrar of Tumkur University, will be a part of the exchange of MOUs between Tumkur University and Sera-je Monastic University. The monastery's prime mission of preservation and promotion of its traditional monastic culture and practice to teach and disseminate the teachings of Buddha forms one of the principal service obligations to the Tibetan and other Buddhist communities and to all enthusiastic devotees and communities alike. May this light of knowledge continue to help us tread the path of righteousness forever.
Citation: His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama is the most prominent and revered spiritual leader who has been a beacon in restoring peace and harmony to a world traumatized by unprecedented human violence. Having been trained in art and culture, Sanskrit, medicine, and Buddhist philosophy, His Holiness' scholarship is marked by its profundity and intellectual rigor. His mastery over the canon of monastic discipline, Abhidharma metaphysics, and Pramana logic epistemology has enabled the entire Buddhist tradition to deal with fundamental problems of humanity. His Holiness' endeavor to popularize democratic principles, peace initiatives, the 5-point peace plan, Strasbourg proposal have been some of the remarkable achievements which have set standards for several spiritualists to emulate the great path of his order. His Holiness has been a source of inspiration and enlightenment for many nations, leaders, institutions, and the common man. His Holiness has received over 80 awards, including the Nobel Peace Prize, honorary doctorates, and prizes in recognition of his message of peace, non-violence, interreligious understanding, universal responsibility, and compassion. Tumkur University feels honored and blessed to honor His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Professor D. Shivlingaya, Registrar, Professor S.C. Sharma, Vice-Chancellor, date 27/11/2012, Tumkur University, Tumkur. Tumkur University, certificate. We, the Vice-Chancellor, the Registrar, members of the syndicate, and the Academic Council do hereby declare that His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, a venerable spiritual leader and renowned scholar in peace studies, is nominated as Honorary Distinguished Professor at Tumkur University on 27th November 2012. Professor D. Shivlingaya, Registrar, Professor S.C. Sharma, Vice-Chancellor, Tumkur University, Tumkur, India. Thanks.
Let's put our hands together for this momentous occasion. His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama is conferred the Honorary Distinguished Professorship from Tumkur University. We are privileged to inform you that His Holiness Parama Pujya Dr. Sree Shivakumara Maha Swamiji of Sree Siddaganga Mutt is a part of the conferment ceremony. We thank His Holiness the Dalai Lama for accepting the honor, and we also thank the dignitaries for being a part of the conferment ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for the inauguration of the International Conference on Yoga in Education. I request the dignitaries on the dais to kindly inaugurate the International Conference by lighting the lamp. The centenarian legend Dr. Sree Shivakumara Maha Swamiji, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama,
Jyoti belagutide, Nirmala param Jyoti belagutide, Jyoti belagutide, Jyoti belagutide, Jyoti belagutide.
I thank all the dignitaries for releasing the proceedings of the International Conference. This will be followed by the release of the souvenir.
Third day, and I took Uchi, Gonlo Jada Chu. Jason Dua. Now some said we all show us and none of you that the common do like that too. A day be Choria, Chatachu, Chaza, Eddie Chuya, Uchi Chatan, and a dagger, loved the chimney. Energy Uchi in Dagan, Dinjakano Yotir and the Kununam Shet, the Uchinam Shet, and then a day, Tokonam Shalia in the day Kanzo, that Gigi and Shindembe Casata Yoga, education, those St. Charles Conference Sorry, I did. Jaya Chumshra Kabachon, and those I get on to Shesui.
With due respect to all the dignitaries on the dais, the religious leader who actually has reached a very high age of 106, which we all, in a way, pray for long life, and he has actually accomplished it by living 106 years. And I felicitate him, and then all the dignitaries, the Vice-Chancellor and others on the dais, on this occasion of the inauguration of yoga in education. I also welcome everyone here. Thank you.
Now, I want to use my broken English. So indeed, I'm very, very happy to participate in this, I think, very important sort of conference. And of course, I have to say, I have to thank you also give me as a professorship. Professorship. So, great honor. Thank you. When some universities in America and also in India is to give me that kind of professorship, honorary professorship, then I usually is telling them, me personally, it's a very, very sort of great honor, and especially great honor, professorship without sort of much sort of study or homework like that. And sometimes I describe hopeless professor because, you see, I have firstly no time to homework and you see not much time to teach the students, concerned students. So therefore, from that respect, viewpoint from that way, I am hopeless professor. So in any way, I feel great honor. Thank you. Then, I think firstly I would like to say a few words. India, I always consider home of many great thinkers. So, India, I think, become, one of the, almost, the civilization where much sort of thought about reality, not just worship or something like that, but you see, investigate what is the reality. So, I think among Egyptian civilization, the Central Valley is Indus Valley sort of civilization, and Chinese civilization. Of course, all these civilizations, I think, very rich sort of cultural heritage. However, in the philosophical field, investigate about reality. I think India civilization, really become very, very significant. So, as a result, this country, over 2,000 years, over 3,000 years, the concept of ahimsa, you see, become part of Indian cultural heritage. With that, it's religious tolerance. Now last, over 1,000 years, beside the homegrown different religions, that means different, firstly, Sankhya philosophy, tradition, and then different sort of, different Hindu tradition, then Jainism, Buddhism, and later Sikhism. These are homegrown different religious tradition. Then from outside, from ancient Iran, Zoroastrian reached India. Then Judaism, Christianity, Islam. So all major world religious tradition now live basically live, 1,000 years, live very harmoniously. I think these two things, I feel very, very important in today's world. Ahimsa, non-violence, is very relevant to today's world. Then religious tolerance, harmony among different religious traditions. That also very, very relevant to today's world. Look, in human history, violence, war is part of human history. Sad. Okay, in ancient time, war means mobilized violence, sometimes legalized violence. 1 or 2 persons killed, murderer, got a punishment. But killing thousands people call hero. Actually, I think the much serious violence, war means much serious violence. It is part of human history. However, due to modern technology, you see, the power of instruction, power of destruction, much increase, including nuclear weapon. So, from war, destruction now really become unthinkable. I personally visited Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So actually, in early period, when I visit Hiroshima, some victims of nuclear bomb, still alive, I met. Really terrible when they explain about their own experience. And that moment so what's the situation. Really very, very terrible. So, now today, I think in any way, the 20th century becomes century of war, century of violence. My own life, I born 1935. At that time, in China, the war with Japan about to start. Then soon, Second World War happened. Then Korean War, then Vietnam War. According to some historian, they say in 20th century, through violence, about 200 millions of people killed. And then war, through war, immense damage. After Second World War, the European continent really faced a lot of difficulties. When I sort of heard, you see, that those older generation who witnessed that event and actually experienced difficulties after Second World War, really terrible. So therefore, now that kind of the amount of destruction and suffering really brings new shape of world. Then violence can be justified. But that is not the case. Beginning of this 21st century, some unhealthy sort of, violence here and there, not worldwide, but some you see violence. These are clearly symptom of the past mistake or past negligence. So therefore, now since, you see, in order to solve problem, in order to solve disagreement, you see, use violence, use force is absolutely outdated, dangerous. So now, there is no other alternative. Problem, disagreement, different interest, always there. So now we must find ways and means to tackle these sort of differences, these sort of source of conflict. That is the dialogue. So therefore, I often is telling, 20th century becomes century of violence, century of bloodshed. Now this century should be century of dialogue. So conflict, source of conflict, always there. So question is how to approach when we face this disagreement or different interest. Previously, use force. So now, that is mutual destruction. Destruction of your neighbor, your enemy, is actually destruction of yourself. That's the reality. Now today's world, heavily interdependent. That's the very nature of the today. Today's reality. And the ecology, different, they're becoming delicate. So war, immense of damage about ecology, and spends billions of money for war material. Also, you see, very damaging about the environment. Look, former Soviet Union, what happened? Now today in China also. So therefore, from the viewpoint of ecology, no national boundary. The other day, I met one Mongolian who astronaut. Astronaut. He, you see, one of the member during Soviet astronaut practice. So he told me just a few weeks ago. He told me when he was in space. He said, "Look, world, so beautiful, blue planet," and he automatically developed some kind of love of blue planet. So since then, he dedicated for the protection of environment. So like that, look from space, no national boundary, one world. So therefore, you see, for ecology, it was the problem, and also global economy, heavily interdependent. Now look, after Second World War, during Cold War, so because of economy interest, even different system, different philosophy, but they have to find coexistence. Right? The practical necessity. So that's today's world. So therefore, the only thing is when we face some sort of disagreement, so different sort of interest about causing violence, we must find peaceful solution. That's the only way. Now how to build genuine sort of spirit of dialogue, full of anger, difficult to develop genuine, meaningful dialogue. Even if some people feel dialogue means signs of weakness, violence is a sign of strength. Totally wrong conception. So in order to develop willpower, determination, whenever you face some problem, try to solve that through talk, face to face, talk, through dialogue. That's the only way. So for that, we have to develop respect of others' interest, others' right, and must develop, respect their life. So that's ahimsa. The real basis of ahimsa is respect others' right and cherishing their life, no matter what is their attitude towards you, but still human being, sentient being, so must respect their life. So that's the concept. That's the basis of ahimsa. Ahimsa cannot describe on the level of action. Action, I think some of my old friends, I think already knows. You see, with negative motivation, want to cheat, want to exploit, and nice smile, and nice words, and some gift. Looks non-violence, but essentially violence, because you want to cheat, you want to exploit them. So other hand, so out of sense of genuine concern of their well-being, like parents relation between parent and children and teacher and the student, out of genuine sense of concern of children or students, because of that long-term well-being. Sometimes, you see, the parent or teacher may show some harsh sort of attitude, but that essentially non-violence, because of the motivation, out of compassion, out of sense of concern of their well-being. So violent demarcation, real demarcation, violence and non-violence entirely depend on the motivation. So therefore, when we talk about ahimsa, we must think the ultimate source or ultimate strength come from warm-heartedness, compassion. So, and then religious harmony. I think firstly, ahimsa, since ahimsa, more or less, I think compassionate action is ahimsa. If possible, serve them. If not, at least restrain, harming them. So that's the act of ahimsa. India still basically carry that sort of principle, that concept. Wonderful. You must realize these are treasure of ancient Indian culture, India's sort of way of life. You must realize that. Then religious harmony. Religious harmony, because they sort of they recognize different people, different culture, even different location, including different sort of climate. So these different religious traditions, you see, develop. So different traditions suitable to the local sort of people. And these different religious traditions truly, 1,000 years, over 2,000 years, truly, I think, provide meaningful life to concerned people. So, even today, all these major religious traditions, I think, provide inner hope, inner peace or hope. We witness there are a number of people who sincerely, you see, dedicate their life serving to others, helping others. So that sort of strength comes from their faith. So therefore, all major religious tradition, you see, talks practice of love, compassion, and with that, tolerance, forgiveness, and self-discipline with certain moral principle. And then even from some corner of your emotion, you want to do something, but then realize this is wrong. I must restrain. That's the self-discipline. Genuine self-discipline is out of awareness, long-term interest, then restrain some harmful action which long run very, very harmful to oneself. Self-discipline does not mean it's some kind of order come from outside. No. Out of awareness. Like someone, you see, who have some sort of, some illness. Then doctors say, oh, you should not eat, you see, this kind of food. Or you should not do, you see, this or that kind of thing. Then, out of awareness for your own healthy body, for your own interest, restrain doing these things. That's a self-discipline. Sometimes if people say, oh, we are free, oh, discipline is something imposing. No, this is wrong. Self-discipline, out of awareness for your own long-term interest. So those religious traditions, actually, in order to carry genuine love, say you need some kind of because of self-discipline. Then also the personal sort of lifestyle, more contentment. That's also important. Now look, global level, huge gap, rich and poor. Northerners, industrialized. Nowadays, you see, recent years, some problems. Otherwise, you see, the surplus. There are a lot of surplus things. Then southern world, basic necessity also is not sufficient. And within country, look India. Some big city, a big building owned by one family. And meantime, same city on the street, poor children. In Delhi also, we often see children and poor mother. I think they are daily sort of requirement. Say, today I received something, now tomorrow what I should do. So this gap, rich and poor, is not only morally wrong, but practically also source of problem. Then look, rich family. It seems, you see, wealth increase. I think more greed also increase. And more sort of greed and sense of competition. That automatically bring distrust, suspicion. So suspicion brings fear. That creates frustration. Frustration creates, anger, and that brings violence. So therefore, material value, in any way there is a limitation. Personally also, you see that even billionaire, not necessarily bring inner peace, more loneliness feeling. Some of my friends, very rich, but as a person, unhappy person. So therefore, the material value, there is limitation. Now spirituality, all these major religious tradition talks love, compassion. That is the ultimate source of inner peace. With inner peace, no matter what environment, you can keep your mind calm. According to medical scientists, they say calm mind, peaceful mind is very, very important factor for good health. I think all this is not important, but I can say now I myself, now 77-year-old person, but my health seems quite okay. Some people sometimes ask me, what's your secret? You looks very happy, always jovial, and good health. Some people felt, I have some special blessing from somewhere. No, nothing. I think only blessing is about 8 to 9 hours sleep every night. That's one source of my blessing. Then mainly my mind. I never touch tranquilizer. I never touch sleeping pill. Because I think my mind, mental state, quite calm, no matter how difficult it is. So therefore, through my own experience, I can tell you, I can assure to you, keep peace of mind is the best interest for your own health, for your own healthy family, healthy community. Full of greed here, full of just an irritation. You will not be happy person. So therefore, whether believer or non-believer, even non-believer, these values you should not consider these values are religious values. Should not think that way. Whether you accept religion or not, up to individual. But these values are for your own interest. Like the Swamiji or His Holiness, I think if you keep peace of mind, not through darkness, but with full alert your mind, very much intelligent sort of mind, meantime, keep peace of mind. Now, actually, religion exists among human beings, not animal world. That means religious faith very much related with human intelligence. So human intelligence show us what is the right kind of emotion, what is destructive emotion, showing us the guide. So therefore, religious faith and sort of reasoning, awareness from brain must go together. Emotion more related with heart. Anger, hatred, love, compassion, much related with emotion. Then here, intelligence or brain have the ability to show what kind of emotion is harmful for yourself, for your family, for your community. And what kind of emotion is something useful for your own health, for your own peace of mind, for your own happy family. So intelligence have the responsibility to show us. In order to develop because of the intelligence, study, like university, now show us the right sort of method or right path. Now I think India, I think India have this sort of potential combination, modern education and century-old India's own sort of valuable sort of traditions. I say something like, I think, synthesize. I think will be very, very useful. So this time, because of yoga and education, yoga and education, I think this kind of conference, I think very, very good. I think we should take for granted this existing sort of situation will be okay. That's the best way. Should not think that way. Reality change. Human population increasing. Global warming also increasing. Natural resources now limited. So we have to think new way. Try to open our mind, look and analyze deeper way. Should not content what existence today. So that I want to share with you. And of course, yesterday also I mentioned these young people, usually I describe generation of 21st century, including Swamiji and myself, we are the generation of 20th century. So our century gone. Now your century, 21st century, these young people, actually below 15, 20, 30, these people are truly generation of 21st century. The 21st century at the moment is just the beginning. So you have the opportunity to bring new shape of the world, compassionate world, peaceful world. You have opportunity. So also you have the responsibility to create better world. So think more seriously, and then your day-to-day life, these moral principles or secular ethics should be part of your daily life. Through that way, you yourself becoming much more happier person, and your friends also then gain some benefit. That's the way to create humanity's thinking, humanity's way of life. Humanity's thinking, cannot change by government or by even the United Nations, cannot. And even I think religious leaders also I think difficult. I think the last 4,000 or 5,000 years, religious leaders always talk these things, but effect limited. So now through education, we should apply the secular ethics in education field. India, I think, very fit. Your own constitution, secular basis, and a secular concept in this country last 1,000 years already there. Now we must find secular ethics. That's actually basis of all different religious traditions. So, universities, professors, chancellors, please think more and carry more research work. And then lastly, I want to express congratulations. Since many years, I felt, you see, our existing monastic institution, they are studying very high, very sort of sophisticated subject. But you see, we isolated, firstly, the language problem. So now you develop some special university, relations, established special relation with Sera-je College. This is wonderful. I really appreciate. Since many years, I have that desire very strongly, but never never implemented. So now you begin here. I really appreciate. So you gain. I think, frankly speaking, I'm Chela. I always consider Chela of Indian Guru. You Indian, our Guru. So sometimes the Guru is a little bit neglected about your own ancient sort of values, ancient sort of thought. Sometimes you see too much emphasis about ritual or prayer like that. I think the time comes now should study this deeper level of different philosophical views. That I think very, very important. So as an academic subject, I think, so this aspect, I usually use this kind, we Tibetan are not only Chela of Indian Guru, but also quite a reliable Chela. That means, you see, last, several centuries, in Guru's own land, lot of ups and downs. During this period, we Chela, your Chela, kept intactly your knowledge. So therefore, you see, you can learn from Tibetan scholars about your own 1,000-year-old different philosophical traditions, philosophical views. Very useful. And then particularly about mind, psychology. Usually I call science of mind. Although you see mentioned Buddhist literature, but I usually make distinction. These are science of mind, not religion. Usually I make this distinction, Buddhist science, and then Buddhist philosophy, then Buddhist religion. So whether you take Buddhist religion or not, that is up to individual. I always emphasize one's own religion, traditional religion is most important. So it is much better to keep your own traditional faith. But these Buddhist science and Buddhist philosophy is something universal and take as an academic subject. So these two fields, I think they really worthwhile and useful exchange like that. Buddhist science of mind, and I think you, as a sort of rocket scientist, I think your subject, whether relevant or monks, I don't know. But anyway, really sort of very, very helpful. Last 30 years, after sort of the serious sort of discussion with scientists, I learned many, many useful things about matters. Really helpful. At the same time, many scientists, they found very, very useful, practical information about mind, about emotion. Knowing more about emotion and mind, then easier to deal these, the destructive emotion. Through prayer, will not go away, this destructive emotion. Destructive emotion must deal with positive emotion. That's the way, out of knowledge. So, that I want to talk. That's all, thank you.
Thank you, Your Holiness. We consider ourselves as truly blessed after having listened to the words of wisdom from Your Holiness. And we've also got a taste of the Buddhist philosophy or the science of Buddhism, as Your Holiness put it across to us.
Ellarigu namaskara. First of all, I offer my pranamas to the holy feet of His Holiness Sri Dalai Lama Ji and His Holiness of Sree Shivakumara Maha Swamiji of Siddaganga Mutt. We deem it an honor to confer the honorary distinguished professorship on His Holiness the Dalai Lama. We are inspired by the talk. On behalf of Tumkur University, I extend our sincere thanks to His Holiness. Our grateful thanks to His Holiness Sree Shivakumara Maha Swamiji of Siddaganga Mutt for his divine presence. I take this opportunity to thank Buddhist monks, administrative officers and representatives of Sera-je Monastic University. Thank you one and all.
That's our Honorable Minister, Sri S. Shivanna, felicitating His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. I thank the Registrar for proposing the vote of thanks.